everybody. Welcome. Hello. Okay, Courtney's first. Let me give everybody a little FaceTime. I may not give everybody all their FaceTime. There's Courtney in the house. Courtney says she finally made it. Courtney, you're always at the lives. Hi, Martina. So good to see you. And then Courtney is saying a lot of stuff. So yes, okay, I understand. Okay, so let me go down here and see what okay, so she's saying I bought a new Sandwood loom. Should be coming soon. Yes, we'll talk some more about that. And then I'm waiting to see what Wambui has to say that inspires me. Okay. Elaine, I hope I say something that inspires you. Y'all always say something that inspires me. So I'm gonna do my best to uplift everybody. And there's Courtney saying hi to everybody. And Fire Phoenix 515 in the house. Welcome. What I want to do today is answer some of the questions that I have received in the comments and from emails. Noreta, good afternoon. Oh my goodness, yes. Thank you for being here, all of you. And look who's here, Life with Evelyn. Let me give Noreta. I didn't give Noreta her FaceTime, and I got to give Miss Evelyn hers. I don't know if I did Firefox FaceTime or not, but anyway, okay, everybody. Welcome everybody. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to answer some of the questions. It's going to be a real brief live, and then I'm going to tell you about some things that I think you can do. Let me move this monitor out of the way. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off just with questions. Now, here's the deal with the questions. The questions come from people who are working on all levels. So it may be something that you say, oh, everybody knows that. Well, everybody may not know that. That's why they're asking. And so I'm going to address their question as well as the questions that are so up at such a high level that I can't even answer them. And an answer will probably be, I don't know. Okay, so let's just get started. I'm going to do some of the questions. Then I'm going to talk about how you can be your own designer and create amazing things, even though you only know a few stitches or maybe even one or two. Going to talk about that. I want to talk about or introduce you to a wonderful book that a wonderful person on this live actually gifted me that I think is just amazing, and I want to share it with you. You may, some other crafters, I believe, maybe even Crafting Journey may have spoken of the book before, but I just want to share it. It is just, for loom knitters, it is just gold, and I want to talk about that. Let me get Miss Evelyn off my screen, okay? All right, so the first thing is that I'm just going to dive right into the questions, and, okay. So let's see. What's the first question? First of all, this is something that everyone is always asking me. It's a very common question. It's not so much about loom knitting, but the question is always, do you have a Facebook group? And the answer is, unfortunately, I do not have a Facebook group. In fact, I am not on Facebook. I know it was confusing for a little while because there was a few months when I was on Facebook, and so everybody was messaging me things and I was on Facebook, but I don't like the platform. I find it really busy and it doesn't work for me. So I'm not on there. I'm not on any social media platform at this time that I'm active on except YouTube. I do have a Pinterest account, but it is so far behind. I hardly ever go there. And until such time that I have like an assistant or somebody to help me with all of these things, I'm going to just keep it small. And so that's why I'm only on YouTube right now. Okay, so let's see. Here's Miss Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. And Lori Alex. Hi, Lori. Well, thank you. I appreciate that comment. And let's see. Susan, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go to the next question. Okay, so the next question is about the washcloths. I have two questions about the washcloths. Again, if you've made the washcloths, then you probably know the answers. But there are still some people, like I said, that are brand new, and we all had to start somewhere. So what they're asking, and they say they're brand new, and she says, if you use only one, if you use one strand, can you use one strand of yarn to make the washcloth, I only have one ball of yarn. Okay, so let me show you. You remember the washcloths, right? So there are people that are just starting to make them. So no, I would not recommend using one strand. I would recommend 2 strands. They don't have to be 2 different colors. But what I found when I used one strand is that the washcloths were very thin. They were flimsy. They didn't have the body that these washcloths have. So if you only have one strand of yarn, then start winding off some until you have another ball. Even though it's the same color, that's okay. It can be the same color. But you're going to want to work with 2 strands of cotton yarn when you're making your washcloths. Okay, so that's the washcloth question. And let's see who has just joined. Let's see, Cheryl. You know what? We all need an assistant. Oh my God, I need 2 or 3. Hi, Marguerite. Hi, Marguerite. And then, okay, so okay, Shirley's talking to narrator. Okay, all right, so now, let's see, the next question is, I don't have a circular loom. Will it still work? And they're talking about the washcloths. I don't have a circular loom. Will it still work? If all you have is a long loom, it will work. You're just going to work on one side. You're going to do your loop and you're going to do everything we did, but you're not going to work on this side. You're going to act as if you only have one row and you're just going to knit. I think it's called a raking. You're going to act like this is a rake and you're going to knit and you're just going to follow the same instructions, only you're going to be working straight instead of in a circle, and it will work. Okay, so let's see. Wait a minute, let me find me. I keep losing me. All right, so we have Cheryl, okay, Elaine, okay. Oh, you all having private conversation. I gotta start doing that. My daughter tells me if somebody's not talking to you, you don't have to read it. Okay. All right. So the next question is, can you do a tube scarf tutorial? Now, okay. What I'm thinking when somebody says that, you let me know if I'm wrong. This is what I'm thinking of when I think of a tube. You're going to take a circle loom and you're going to act like you're going to make a hat. Only you're just going to make it really, 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 really long until you have enough to go around your neck, like a scarf. Is that a tube scarf? And then the ends, you can like either whip up the ends or actually make the ends like you would close off a hat. Is that what a tube scarf is? Because that's what I think it is. And if that's what it is, let me see who's over here. Okay, everybody's talking. Okay, so wait, I forgot here. Okay, so Lori, okay. And Cheryl says you can make a double knit on the long loom. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And hi, interested in the answers to your questions. Hi, Kim. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. My comment was also sent for you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, thank you, Elaine. I appreciate that. And let me just see here before we go back to our questions. But best done on a long loom during the same thing you just said. Yeah, so to do the washcloths, you would just use, if you have only a long loom, then you would, let me just say that one more time. Okay, so if you're doing a long loom, you want to do the washcloths, but you only have a long loom, then you're just going to use one side of the loom. Let me get Miss Elaine out of the way. Okay, you're just going to use one, like a rake. You're not going to bother the other side. You're just going to do everything in the video, only you're going to be working on one side of the loom like that. Okay, so now let me see. Now, the next question is, I get so a lot of these. And that question is, where can I find the 20 peg loom? That was the loom that we used for the fingerless mittens. The 20, and I also think we used that for the cozies as well. The 20 peg loom, they no longer sell them at Amazon, 20 pegs. But you can get a 20 peg loom from Sendwood Looms. In fact, you can get any size peg you want. You can have, if they don't have it, they'll custom make it for you. But they do have 20 peg looms. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Oh. All right. So this is from Sinwood, and this is a 20 peg 1/2 gauge loom right here. All right, from Sinwood. Okay, and these run roughly about $12, which I think is amazing to get something that's 100% wood. And also, the other way you can get 20 pegs is to get the Flexi Loom. And with the Flexi Loom, which also Sinwood also sells them. Otherwise, they are a product from KB Knitting Board, knittingboard.com. Flexi looms are, you just put them together, and of course you can make them any size you want. So if you're having trouble ever finding the size peg that you want, if you have a Flexi loom, you can create it. And otherwise, you can always go to Sinwood, and if you don't see what you want, then you can have them make it for you. And I think that's amazing. Okay, let's see here. I'm missing out. Okay, done a long loom during the same thing. Okay, you just said, okay, I bought the Afghan loom, and I'm going to try my first blanket. Is it better to use 1 strand or 2 strands of yarn? Okay, Susan, it depends on how thin or thick your yarn is. If your yarn, and it also is going to depend on, whoa, okay. Okay, so Susan and everybody, is going to depend on the gauge length. That's the spaces between the pegs, okay? It's going to depend on the spaces, and it's also going to depend on how thick or thin your yarn is. If your yarn is kind of thin, to me, this is kind of, see, I consider this thin, but I guess everything is, if it's kind of thin, then you might want to double it so that it looks more, so that you're working with something that looks like this as opposed to this. All right. I always say get at least a number 5 or 6 yarn for an Afghan. That's just me, but I prefer working with the thicker yarns. Okay. So it's going to depend on your gauge length, your gauges, and it's also going to depend on the thickness. Usually the looms that you get at the store, you're going to want to have at least a 5 or 6 weight yarn. You're going to want a thicker yarn to work with, okay? So there. I hope that helped. Okay. And now I have no idea where I am over here. Okay, so the tube scarf use long loom all the way to the tube. Okay, so I'm doing something on that, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. I made a ton of school scarf on the round. So she said she made a ton on the round, and then Cheryl says she uses the long loom. So while we're on this, I'm going to stop right now and talk about another question that I had, and the question was, let me show. Okay, so with this loom right here, okay, the question was, can you make a circle using the long loom? And to tell you the truth, it seemed like you could, but I didn't know. And so that's usually what I do. When you ask me a question, I have to, for myself, see if it's true or not. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off right now, because I was just wanting to see if it would make a circle if I knitted something on, it has to be the long loom that has these pegs on both ends. So let's see. All right, so let's see if we have a circle. I know it's going to kind of try to, but we'll see. All right, let me put it over here so you can see. All right, so, all right, so I'm going to take this off. What I want to see is if it's going to make a circle, even though we did it on, it should. It seems like that's going to be the natural thing, but let's just see what happens. But you can, so we know we can make a tube scarf. I knew you could do one on the round loom, and so Cheryl just shared with us that we can also do one on this loom. And so when we get all of this off, let's see if it tends to Because maybe you can can you make a hat on the long loom? Let's see. All right, I'll have it off in a second, folks. Talk among yourselves. Let me just see if we have if this can be used as a circle. All right, so, okay. All right. Okay. Ugh. Okay. All right. So there you go. You can do a circle. You can do a circle on the flat loom. All right. So that was my experiment of the day. Okay. So there you go. All right. So let me see. Hi, Tina. Let's see, Tina. Hi, Tina. Cheryl said she loves flexi looms. Yes, that's a tube scarf. Well, when I first learned to loom, that's how I was taught to loom a scarf. Okay, so you just keep going around. You don't leave any openings, and you can make your scarf. You can also get any key loom you want from any size loom you want from Sittage Looms on Etsy. Okay? I've never shopped there, but that's something to keep in mind. She says you can get looms at Sittage. I guess that's the Sittage. All right. That's something new to know. Okay. And Cottage Looms on Etsy makes custom. Okay. So there are lots of places on Etsy. So if you're looking for a custom loom, you can also go to Etsy. All right. Yes, it made a circle. You can use double knit. Okay. All right, so now, yes, I can make all the different size hats on the long loom. Okay, now we know. All right, so you don't need a round loom in order to make yourself a hat. But it does have to, I'm thinking that it does have to have, okay, because this long loom has these ends right here. Like if you just go right from here to here and it doesn't have this peg, then it seems like that you're going to be creating a space. So I think you have to take the whole. Okay, so then Kim is saying cool. And then, let's skip narrator. Cottage looms are very expensive. Okay, so, is that what Cheryl was saying? It wasn't Sittage. She was saying cottage. Okay, sorry. Okay, the narrator says cottage looms are very expensive. Okay, so you might want to check that to see. KB Loom has a loom that you can use 4 yarn, like I use 5 or 6 yarn when I loom. Okay, so are you talking about which KB loom? Okay, Weezy, can you tell us which KB loom you're specifically talking about? And I'm going to go over here because there was somebody that asked me a question. And the first time she asked the question, she left it in my comments. And I said to her, "Are you trolling me?" And she said, "I would never do that." And then she asked me the question again. And this is a question she said. She said, "How about Bernie Sanders mittens?" And I said, "Oh, okay." Well, first of all, I haven't figured out how to do mittens. But second of all, the thing about the Bernie Sanders mittens was that it was repurposed from a sweater. So what someone did, or what this person had a business, and this is what they did, I assume, is they would take old sweaters and then cut the fabric from the old sweaters and repurpose them into mittens. So that's something that I want to try one day. But no, I have not done the Bernie Sanders mittens yet. Okay, so all right, so where's she's not talking to me. Okay. So no Bernie Sanders mittens yet. Can the Afghan be made using the simple E-wrap stitch throughout? The problem, it can, but what we have found is that, or I have found, is when you use that one stitch all the way, then it's going to tend to roll in on you. It's going to curl up. It's when you need at least 2 stitches to balance out the stitches. So if you're just using E-wrap stitch all the way, we saw that with our scarves. In fact, I used to end up with these sausage scarves because in order to make a flat scarf, you need at least two different stitches if you're if you're not making the tubular scarf. Okay, so you need the two stitches. Of the flexi looms and the 8 gauge, I put them together. Okay, so this is some information that she's just sharing with everybody. This is from Karen. She says the flexi looms with the 3/8 gauge, I put 3 of them together in one large circle and I'm making a blanket with them. It's great because I can fold it smaller to fit into a project bag when I'm not working on it. Okay, so she says, and my next project is a blanket with the KB multi-loom. All right, so hi. Let's see who's here, who's just joined. Okay, hi, Kathy. When I make things on a short loom, washcloths, E-wrapping from one side to another, my starting end is always loose. Suggestions, anyone? So you're talking about, right, whether you make your little your loop. Your loop is that little corner where the loop is loose. Is that what you're referring to? Because the only thing I know to do is to in the beginning just make sure that loop is tight, and that's one way. You can use your anchor peg to wrap some yarn around that anchor peg to ensure that loop doesn't pull loose, that your loop doesn't open up, if that's what you're talking about. Thank you, Kathy. Let me know if that's what you're talking about. And let's see, here's Angie. Hi, Angie. Angie, welcome. Yeah, I hesitated because I knew a Cheryl Prescott. I knew somebody named Prescott, and I was thinking, is that my Prescott? No, that's Angie Prescott. Okay, but it is my Prescott now. Okay. All right. I would have to go look in my basement. I'll let you know. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you go through a lot of trouble. I made a blanket, kept on my Flexi Loom chunky, and it was amazing, very portable. Yeah, the Flexi Loom is very good for that. I am making a hat on my X Loom. Okay, I have never dealt with the X Loom. I've seen them on a Sendwood site, but I've never dealt with an X Loom. So let us know how that works out, Courtney, on how to tighten loose stitches. Okay, Loom a hat. Okay, she's very good. She's like the doctor, one of the doctors of loom knitting. She has a doctorate degree. So Loom a hat does have some great clues about things that you can do when you find yourself in trouble over there. Let's see. Do you have a tutorial on making wait a minute. Just want to know if we can make it with cotton thread. What do you do? Okay. So this man is referring to, or a person is referring to the placemats. And his question, he wanted to know, could he use cotton yarn? I used acrylic, but cotton would be ideal. The issue I was having was finding cotton that was a thick weight. It's hard to find. Today, I did find some cotton that this is at Michael's, and this is a 4-weight cotton, and it is 87% cotton and 17% nylon. I'm excited because the colors look really pretty, and it is thicker than most of the other cotton that I've seen out there. Usually the cotton is really thin, like the cotton we use for our washcloths. But yeah, you can use the cotton for your placemats. I think that's even ideal. And somebody wanted to know, do you have a tutorial on making a towel? And so what I'm suggesting, if you would like to make a towel, is to use the pattern that was used for the placemat and make it out of cotton. And I think that should make a really good towel. I don't know if you are talking a dish towel or a body towel. Yeah, but I think that the cotton is ideal for the towels and the placemats and things like that, if you can find the right weight. Do you have a tutorial on making a towel? Okay. So someone asked, but I get a lot of questions about this. Okay. I get a lot of questions where somebody says, I forgot to do the very first part, or, okay, this person is saying, well, when you did the beginning of the Afghan, I didn't do on the first few rows, I didn't do the purl one, knit one, purl one at the first 4 stitches. Okay, so and they're saying I'm 8 rows in. What do you think I should do? If you are less than 12 rows in, if you're less than 15 rows in, my suggestion is always just start over. It's going to be less frustrating than you trying to fix it. So you can always fix something by just making up stuff, and then you have one end that looks one way and one end that looks another way, and then when people ask you about it, all you have to do, as I would do, is I would say, well, this is art, this is my creation. But the best thing to do is, once you realize you've made a mistake, then just stop, take it apart, especially if you're less than 15 rows in. Just take it apart and just start over. It's going to be so much less frustrating to just start over. It's okay. I pull things apart all the time and start over because, okay, so, okay, so, and Loom had, okay, so we did that. Okay, so Hobby Lobby and Michael and Joanne do have the coupons. Okay, so I'm going to answer one more question, and then I'm going to show you this beautiful book, which I think is a loom knitting treasure. If I have questions, okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce this book right here. All right, so I'm going to put it over here, and this is, let me get Miss Courtney out of the way here. Let me go over here to the demo. And here's the book that was gifted to me by a very, very dear friend on this channel. And you may have seen the book before. And I know that Crafting Journey has this book, but I wanted to share it with you. I probably will not be doing any of the patterns that are in the book because they're not my designs. They're not my patterns. These patterns belong to Nicole Fox. But I wanted you to know about this book because it is just amazing. And it's very seldom that we find books that are like, well, I don't want to insult anybody else's book, but a book that's just such high quality that just deals with loom knits. Because most of the books out there, what I'm trying to say, deal with needle knitting, deal with crochet. And so books about loom knitting are far and few between. I did not know about this book, but I'm so happy that someone told me about, well, gifted me this book, and I know about it. And so it's just, everything in here is loom knit. See, loom knits, amazing loom knits. And the book is, the pictures are amazing. The print is a good size. And it just takes you pretty much from A to Z. And it tells you about how to read the patterns and different levels that the projects will be on. And it's just amazing stuff that you, even if you're a beginner, there are things in here that you can do, like level. Okay, this says beginner. All right, so this is a beginner scarf, and she takes you through it step by telling you the gauge, the supplies, and everything that you're going to need to make the things in here. So I highly recommend this. Isn't this beautiful? This says a confident beginner. So a lot of these things in here can be for beginners. Look at that. Wow. So, and look, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is in the book. Anyway, so this is a book. Oh, wow. Beautiful things. So this is a book that you might want to invest in. It's just gorgeous. Like I said, I probably, look at that little tote purse right there. Yeah, so it's just something you might want to invest in. I won't be doing tutorials on these patterns because these are not mine. But yeah, I just wanted you to be aware of this, and I'm so grateful for the person who gifted me this wonderful book. This book is available at Amazon and probably other bookstores as well. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in there. And what else? Okay, so I also am going to. I wanted to talk a little bit about you creating your own things. Okay, so where am I? All right, so this is what I want to show you. I want to show you these. I got these from Sinwood. Okay, these are like little, little test um, peg little test boards. I call them test boards. Okay, so they're with all kinds of gauges, with different gauges. Some are thick, some are thin. Now, I'm not saying you have to invest in these, but I think it's a good investment if you would like to. But I'm not saying you have to. You can do the same thing on your loom. What that same thing is if you want to make something, let's say you say, oh, I want to make a scarf that's, I don't know, 15 inches wide. How many pegs do I need to do that? And so the way you would figure out that is like maybe you would maybe do the first 10 pegs or first 5 pegs. And then you're going to measure once you take it off. You're going to do a little swatch. And then you're going to take it off. And then you're going to measure it. And you'll say, okay, well, this is 4 inches. So, and I used 5 pegs. So in order to get 15 inches, how many pegs will I have to use? And so that will be one way that you can figure out. I'm going to make this plainer, or maybe I'll just do a whole video about how to figure out your stuff. But there is a way for you to just make test swatches, measure them. If you want a blanket that's, you say, I want a baby blanket that's 40 inches wide. How many pegs do I need for that? Well, then you would just make a little swatch, make sure it's the same size as the peg loom you're going to be working on. And you would wrap a few, maybe 5 or 6 pegs, make a little swatch about this much, take it off, and then you're going to measure that. And you're going to say, okay, I got 5 inches from these 5 pegs. So if I want my baby blanket to be 40 inches, then I'm going to divide the 5 into 40 and get how many pegs I need to wrap. So I don't know if I'm making myself absolutely clear or not, but that's just one of the ways that you can figure out how many pegs you need for something, or if you want to make it bigger or smaller. Also, I want to talk about when you are loom knitting, and let's say you're doing a hat, and you're just loom knitting your hat, and you're doing, well, for a hat, let's say you're just doing all E-wraps. Well, you can make it look fancy and make it look more expensive if when you're doing the E-wraps, every now and then, just throw in a row of purl or 2 rows of purl, and then go back to E-wrapping. And then you E-wrap for a few more inches, and then maybe you throw in a purl, E-wrap, throw in another purl row. And what is that's going to do is, I don't have my stuff over here. What that's going to do is going to create a hat that has many dimensions, and it's going to look like something. You look like you spent a lot of time and figuring out the design and everything, and all you did was just alternate between purl and E-wrap at different intervals to get something. You can do the same with a scarf to just get a different look, and that's kind of like creating your own stuff. Okay, so that's unless you have any other questions, I am going to make the announcement that I'm making today, and that I'm going to make the last Saturday when we have our last Saturday of the month live. And that is that after the last Saturday that we do for this month, I am going to go away for at least a month. You won't see me for a month. And I'm going away because I need to have time to create more stuff and to figure out things and do more tutorials. And I'm not finding the time to actually experiment and make stuff and make mistakes and everything and bring you new things to do. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take at least a month off where you're not going to see me at all. That'll be in May. And when I come back, I want to come back with some new projects and things to show you and new tutorials. Okay. So let's see who's here. Let's see. Oh, Crafting Journey is here. Crafting Journey. Hi, Crafting Journey. Crafting Journey said, hi, everyone. So, Crafting Journey. Yes, Crafting Journey in the house. Rebecca Schilling is here. And Crafting Journey is on every day. I keep saying that, don't I, Crafting Journey? It seems like she's on every day. She's on several times a week. I'll put it like that. She's on several times a week, Crafting Journey. And she talks about and does very interesting. She does all kinds of crafts over there. So the Crafting Journey, and let's see. Hi, Beth. Thank you for joining us. And let's see, Betty, I just saw you. I hope I'm not. No, you're not too late, Betty. I was just answering some questions. Basically, I came on just to check in, just to say hello. And so I just answered a few questions. If anybody's working and lurking, that's what Crafting Journey says she's doing over there. Hello, I'm new here. Love your videos. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know what I do want to do is I'm going to, let's see. Wait, Elaine, I just found your bling video and can't wait to watch it. Yeah, because I love bling. As you can see, I love bling. I love anything that blings. So thank you so much. And this is just, I just came on briefly, really to say hi and just to connect to you. And have a great, yes, I'm going to be doing, when I come back, hopefully I'll have some more, a few more projects that I can demonstrate, but I need time to develop them. Okay. And then, okay, you're going by, Courtney. I have made a flower crown. You made a flower crown. Oh, that sounds pretty amazing. Well, we will miss you, but enjoy your time off. Thank you. And Wambui Crafting Journey is on each day with a fabulous morning show. Okay, morning show. So, Crafting Journey, you got your PR people over here for you, do you? Thank you. This is their time. Have fun exploring. Yes, I'm going to see what I can come back with that's pretty new and exciting, and do the tutorials and things like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. There was something else I wanted to do. Oh, so I'm going to, unless you have any more specific questions, I'm going to close out, and I'm going to, let's see, who was that? Let me see, Inspire. Okay, that was Elaine. Elaine said that she was, Elaine said she was looking for me to say something inspiring. Well, Elaine, today the word I want to leave you with is a word that I don't think we can hear too much of, and that word is grateful, gratitude, you know. So it's just about being grateful for, you know, sometimes we take so many things for granted. And I know here in New York City, I can't see it from my house, but if I walk to my corner, I can see Harlem Hospital. And every time I hit that corner, I look at that hospital, and I am just so grateful. I say, thank you, God, that I'm not waking up in this hospital today, or that I don't have a family member that's waking up in this hospital. So it's about being grateful for the little things. Don't take your life for granted. Know that everything, your family, everything, just be grateful for it. I know I'm grateful. I know there was a time when I didn't think I'd be sitting here today, at least not doing this. There was a time when I didn't think I'd be alive today, sitting here doing this. And so I've learned to not take anything for granted, and I'm very grateful for every little thing. Are there things that I look at and I say, oh, I wish I had that. I want that. Yes. But at the same time, I know that I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for the health of my family members and all that. So that's the word I just want to leave you with, is gratitude. And each morning when you wake up, just make a list. See if you can make a list of 10 things that you're grateful for. And if you can just name 10 things you're grateful for, you're going to have such a more amazing day. And, you know, the more you're grateful for, you know what they say, the more you're grateful for, the more you have to be grateful for. And so I'm going to leave it right there. Let me just see what's going on over here. She said, I sent my PR. Yes, you did. Thank you. Sounds fun. Okay. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye, Rebecca. And thanks for suggesting Crafting Journey. I'll check her out. Great. And enjoy your time off. Looking forward to your new tutorials. And she's not talking to me. Gratitude. Amen. Gratitude. Yes. Narita is such a beautiful spirit. Thank you for being here, Narita. Enjoy your time away. Be creative. Thank you. Blessings to be sure. Yes, gratitude. Yes. Yes, Miss Evelyn. And Miss Evelyn on her channel is she does life, spiritual things. She's getting in shape. She talks about eating, how to be healthy, and all that kind of good stuff over there. And she talks about black hairstyles and black hair care and different things like that over at Miss Evelyn. So that's what she's doing over there. And grateful for you. Well, thank you, Kim. That's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go away now. I really appreciate you all coming around. I think I'll be back. I think I will be back on Wednesday. I'll come back for Wednesdays because I said I would. But our main and big live is going to be the last Saturday in this month of April. The last Saturday in April, we're going to do a bunch of giveaways, not just one. We're going to do a bunch of giveaways on that last Saturday. And I just thank you all. And let's see, where am I? Amen. Being grateful for everything you have. Yes, you're at the top of the list. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. I love you all. I wish you all the best rest of the day and the best week ever. And thank you so much for being. Thank you, Narita. Thank you, Narita. Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Narita is the person that sent me the beautiful Loom knit book. And she's just been so gracious. And I'm just grateful for Narita and all of the beautiful people that have been on this channel. And so thank you so much. I'm going to go away now. Love your crafts. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. I love all of you. Let's see. All right. Can I go away? It's not letting me go.